please sign in the sign-in register, and please turn off your cell phones. If you want any additional response sheets and pens are available here, and please encourage the participants. With this, I would like to welcome Sheila.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, and it looks like we have one guest, is that right? So we generally open the meetings by asking each of our guests to just stand up and say what they're looking for and what brought them here to Toastmasters.
My name's Joe Lever. I've been a guest before. I think I know most of you, and I'm just having trouble finding a time to sign the paperwork to join. So that's the reason I'm still a guest today. But I'm joining as soon as possible.
Wonderful, thank you. And I don't think we have any other guests. Everybody else is a member at this point, so yes. I know I haven't seen you guys in a couple of weeks. I was on PTO last week and then in a meeting the week before, so it's really good to be back here and seeing all of you. So for today's meeting, we have a great lineup of speakers and people participating in various roles, and a new Toastmaster who's going to go over the year 2000 theme. I'd like to go ahead and welcome up our Toastmaster for today, Karishma Damani.
Thank you, Madam President. Welcome everyone, especially our guest. So today's meeting will be divided into three parts. First part is where we'll have two speakers speak on prepared speeches. Second part, which will be followed by the speaking part, will be the top table topics, where a lot of participants will have to give impromptu speech for 1 to 2 minutes. And the third part is the evaluation. In front of you, you should have evaluation form. Please feel free to write your comments, feedback, words of encouragement, words of advice to all the speakers. This past long weekend, I met a few of my husband's childhood friends, and they all went down the memory lane, talking about how they were and what they did 10 to 15 years ago. It was extremely exciting and very intriguing at the same time, since I got to know a lot of different things that I did not know already about my husband. So I immediately thought, what would it like be if I asked my fellow Toastmasters, what were you doing and what were you up to in year 2000? Hence the theme, year 2000, what were you up to? So what was I doing in year 2000? I was still in high school studying, and the biggest responsibility I had was just study. However, even just with study, I used to think that my responsibility is more difficult than that of my dad and my mom. I mean, how difficult it is to go to work? Or how difficult it is to raise two kids? Not much. That's what I thought. I was naive and immature. At this point, if I get to go back to my days, I would go back in a heartbeat, if possible. So with that, I would like to move on, and I would like to call upon our general evaluator to introduce her role and team. I would like to speak something about what she was doing in year 2000. Pooja started her college and hostel life in year 2000, and she felt really homesick for the first few days, and then she got very used to the hostel life and having friends around her, and she had lots of fun. From year 2000 till date, Pooja has been living away from her family, and things haven't changed much. Welcome, Pooja.
Thank you, Karishma. It's really nice to have such a different theme and going back to the memory lane. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I am the evaluator. I am the general evaluator of today, and I will be evaluating the overall theme of the meeting today and how the meeting went well or not. So I will be calling on a team to assist me with giving feedback to our speakers. And so today our grammarian will be Amrita Giver.
So I'll be the grammarian of the day. So I'll try to point out some grammatical errors in your speeches and probably any corrections in sentence structures you guys can have, or any other possible words you can use in your speeches. The word of the day is lucid, which means very clear and easy to understand. Example sentence would be, the lecture was very lucid, allowing the students to grasp the concepts easily. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Amrita. And our R counter for today is Shankaraya Ontidu.
Hi, this is Shankar. Today I'm going to play the R counter role. So I will count the word talking and so like this past pillars. And apart from this, any repeated words, if you use, I will count and end up with the numbers.
Thank you, Shankar. And the timer for today's meeting is Kannadam.
My name is Ashwini, and I'm the timer for today. I'll be keeping track of the time for all the prepared speeches, the table topic speakers, and the evaluators. The prepared speeches for today are 5 to 7 minutes. I'll be using the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. And for the table topic speakers, every table topic speaker gets 1 to 2 minutes. So I'll be using green at 1 minute 30 seconds, 1 minute, and at 1 minute 30 seconds I'll be using the yellow card, and at 2 minutes I'll be using the red card.
Thank you, Ashwini. Let's welcome back our Toastmasters of today.
Thank you very much. I would now like to introduce our first speaker, Anjana Bachu. So what was Anjana doing in year 2000? Year 2000 for Anjana was lots of happiness, and she had enthusiasm, and she was going to start her engineering school. She made lots of good friends and had memorable experiences that will remain with her all her life. Today, Anjana will be speaking on empathy. Do you have it in you? This is her 8th project. Please welcome Anjana Bachu.
Empathy. What is empathy? Dictionary says it's a psychological identification with or experiencing of the thoughts, feelings, or attitudes of another. Let's take a closer look. Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes, trying to understand, feel their feeling by standing by them. It's showing compassion and comfort. So empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. Now if I ask you, which of the 2 slides will you remember when you leave this room? What will you say, slide 1 or slide 2? Absolutely. Research says there's only 10% of the content that we remember after an average speech. And if we add visuals to it, can you guess how much the retention rate goes up to? It's 20%. So when you are involving your hearing just one sense, it is 10% retention. When you add visuals and you're involving your second sense, it increases by 10%, which makes it 20%. There's one element that if we add, the retention can go up to 70%. Can anyone guess what that is?
Hearing.
Story.
Right. It's emotions, it is feelings, empathy, stories that people can relate to, the audience can feel, and take them back to their stories. That is something that the audience will always remember even after they leave the room. So that it's not 100%, but it is 70%. The more number of senses that you activate from your audience, the more retention is possible. I think it took everyone by surprise. It took me by surprise as well. I would like to show you one video, and then I will continue on my talk. Beautiful, isn't it? The child clearly felt the emotion of her mother. It was probably with the facial expressions or the tone of her voice. The baby was able to relate to her mom's emotion. The feeling of empathy is a God's gift that we are all born with. How much of it do we retain and how much of it do we carry forward is up to an individual. With so much of experience and journey in our life, I think we kind of start to lose it. Even with the talent of able to recognize the feelings and emotions of others, there's very little time to show empathy. I have a few drawings here. Can you spot the emotion that this drawing is trying to portray? Is it happiness or sorrow or anger, frustration?
Happiness.
And how about this one? Yeah. So it's so obvious when we look at these pictures, happiness and sorrow. They're not even real people. It is just a cartoon. And we are still able to spot if it's happiness or sorrow. This talent that God has given us to spot the emotion and understand people is something that we should always remember and try to do it in life. How much do we do it on a day-to-day basis? Time is the most valuable thing in this entire world. Once time lost is lost forever. And if we can give time to someone to make them feel better, I think there's nothing more valuable that you can give them. We can always make a significant change or in their emotional state when we give them time, show compassion, and show empathy in life. No matter if we are able to solve their problems or not, just by showing that compassion, giving them comfort, standing by them, can make a big difference in their emotional state. I have experienced that in my life. Even just a passerby smiling at you can make a lot of difference in your day-to-day life. You might be gloomy that day, but someone smiles at you and then you happen to smile back. That instantly changes your mood. What does it take? Just a smile, right? I would like to reiterate one thing. We all are born with this talent. Just that little baby had that in her. So remember, people may forget what you say to them. They may even forget what you did to them. But they'll never forget how you made them feel. Let us all try to be more empathetic. Let us try to show compassion. Give confidence to people who are down. And give them time. There's nothing more that we can give to someone you love or someone who needs that help more than your time. There's nothing more valuable. So I would like to conclude by once again saying that people may not remember what you say to them. People may not remember what you did to them. But they'll for sure always remember how you made them feel.
It's a great speech, Anjana. Please take a moment to write a feedback form. Ramesh do in the year 2000? Ramesh entered United States in December 1999. The whole of the year 2000 went in settling in this new place with new people, learning the language and settling down. Please welcome, Ramesh will be speaking on NTR, the Telugu Pride. This is his 9th project. Please welcome Ramesh.
కృషి ఉంటే మనుషులు ఋషులవుతారు, మహాపురుషులవుతారు, తరతరాలకి తరగని వెలుగవుతారు, ఇలవేలుపుతావుతారు. Madam President and dear Toastmasters and guests, today we are going to learn about this legend who brought the identity for all the Telugu people in the world. He is called as NTR. His full name is N.T. Ramarao. He born in a small village in Andhra Pradesh in southern part of India. He used to ride his bicycle for 23 miles and sell the milk for his livelihood. He failed in his intermediate or 12th grade for 3 times, but he never gave up. He tried for 4th time and passed in that exam. Then he completed his bachelor's degree. He shows his leadership qualities at the age when he is studying intermediate itself. Later, never tries to give up. He always tries the things. It shows his determination. But after completing his bachelor's degree, he joined in a government organization. In that organization, there is a big bribe is going on. He doesn't like that environment, so he resigned from there. He used to play the theatre plays, so he joined in Tollywood industry or Telugu film industry. He acted in 333 movies over a career of 44 years. He stood #1 in Tollywood film industry. He played almost all famous Hindu gods and prominent Hindu gods, and he played them with passion so that he became the god in the people's heart. Here is one of the picture from his movies. The meaning of the song which I sung is, if you keep doing the hard work, you will become a saint. If you keep doing the hard work, you will become a great person. If you keep doing the hard work, you can show the light for the coming generations. If you keep doing the hard work, you will become the God in people's heart. So I want to share one incident. So there is one famous temple in Andhra Pradesh called Tirupati, which is very famous for Lord Venkateswara. People, after visiting the temple, go to another city to visit NTR because people think that he is also a god. So I myself went to Tirupati, then I went to Chennai to visit NTR because my grandfather thought that he is also a god. And there is one more incident in his movie film career. He used to take away towels from the shooting spot. So people will think that he is a conjuice guy because he is taking the towels away from it. But after his death, one of his friends revealed that he used those towels to remove the sweating from his face. Because of the makeup only, he is getting the money. So he treats them as a goddess Lakshmi. If he leave them towels there, people will throw away or they may use for some other purpose. So what he did is, he will take away these towels and wash them and keep them in a safe place. After 44 years of his life, he thought that these Telugu people give me so much love, money and affection. So what can I do for these Telugu people? Then he started a political party called Telugu Desam. So he invited all the educated people like doctors, engineers into the politics. Up to then, people will think that politics is a rich people's game. So, but he took his old Chevrolet van and roamed and visited all the villages. He roamed for 30,000 kilometers and came to power within a short span of 9 months. He became he became main opposition party at the central level within a short period of time. Why I like him so much? At the age of 5, I saw my first movie in my life of his movie, so I became instant favorite to him. In India, there is a clear discrimination between the boys and girls. All the inherited property will go to boys, but girls won't get anything except the dowry that has been given during their marriage period. NTR brought a rule that all the girls who born after 1969 has a right in the inherited property. So now girls are getting at least some percentage of the inherited property. Even though today they are getting small percentage, in future they may get their full right. And he started one university just for ladies that is called Padmavati Mahila University. And he took care of all the people by providing the food and shelter and housing. So today, many people are telling that a Telugu guy become a CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. If NTR is not there, they may tell that a South Indian may become a CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. He died in 1996. When he died, one of the Telugu news diary published this cordon. If people are doing the hard work, he is India, he became a god in poor people's life. When I am seeing this picture, I always remember the song that if you keep doing the hard work, you will become a god in people's heart. Madam President.
That was a wonderful speech. Please take a moment to evaluate Ramesh's speech. Let's move to the next part of the meeting, which is the table topics. Table topics, Master will give a number of topics to some participants, and the participants will be requested to speak for a minute or two. This will be an impromptu speech. Ali is our table topics master for today. What was Ali up to in 2000, year 2000? Ali was a college freshman at that time and in the midst of dot-com fever. He dreamt of working in Silicon Valley. However, his dream lasted only for a few months since the news of dot-com crash spread rapidly. Please welcome Ali.
As Karishma explained, as a tabletop master, my role is to try to open a discussion and ask people for opinion. Today, I would like to open a discussion around one of the most important situations we in California have been facing in the past few years, and that is about drugs, as you guys. Governor Jerry Brown last week announced a few measures to restrict usage of water, to increase enforcement to prevent wasteful use of water. That's actually the first time in history of California we have such an involuntary measures. Very important situation. Just last month, an op-ed in Los Angeles Times, penned by a senior NASA water scientist, claimed that California has only about 1 year left in its rivers, lakes, and snowpacks. My first question is, we all hear about this situation. Do you believe this is a reality or it's merely a hype? I would like to ask, Sheila, can I ask you for an opinion?
Interesting topic. I actually have always felt strongly about the environment, and when it stopped raining consistently, and I think it was even a year or two ago, I was already getting concerned, and I was wondering when our government would make changes, and I realized it had to come from a personal level, the changes in education. I would come to work and I would see people at the sink in the break room have the water on full force and not do anything by the sink, and I would go up and turn it off if it were a friend. But it would make me sad to realize there is just so much education that needs to happen to guard our precious resources. And now finally an announcement has come out. It is very troubling because I think a lot of us have children and we want so much for them in this world and where we live. And I'm trying to educate myself on what I can do for my part. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard or read that almonds take a lot of water, and so I love almonds, and I'm probably not going to buy them any longer because of that. I also have a boyfriend who's a biologist, and every time he sees new vineyards going up, he shakes his head, especially in California, because he tells me, do you realize not only does it destroy the natural habitat that used to reside there, but it takes so much more water to feed a vineyard than it would many other crops. And so I think it's just a matter of making yourselves aware. If you can carpool, drive less, don't buy the produce that takes more water, maybe not run the water as long as you would do or your lawn. So I think there's a lot we can be doing to maybe make a difference on an individual basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina. Governor Brown says climate change is not a hoax. Do you agree or not? David, what's your opinion?
So climate change is not a hoax. For me, I do believe that climate change is real. I don't really have any hard data other than what's been reported recently, let's say on news or by certain research or whatnot. But personally, even as I, let's say, lived here for 20 plus years now, I do notice that there's been quite a bit of shift in terms of how each season feels differently. Like, for instance, winter, no longer are we seeing as much rain. In summer, we have extreme temperatures in terms of when it gets really cold, really hot. I don't know, just a gut feeling that things aren't normal, or at least compared to how it used to be. And people who live here even longer probably can tell you, even more so. One of my neighbor, who's been around for, he's in his 60s now, and he tells me that even much longer, farther back, that life was, I guess you could say, better or simpler, and weather was part of that. So I do believe that's not a hoax, to answer your question.
Thanks, David. This is a continuation of the past two questions, specifically the way that individuals express their opinion. I would like to ask about experiences that you guys have actually noticed in your daily life as a result of the drought situation. I would like to ask Yaron to express his opinion about this and share some of the experiences.
So I was born in Israel and raised in Israel, which has much more draft problem and has only enemies inside, so around. So if you have no water, you have no water. So the government always was very involved with draft. It was kind of, as a child, like 5 years old, 6 years old, I was worried about it pretty much. And the government did everything, like convince couple to take shower together, just to save time and water. For example, a lot of commercials of when you brush your teeth, just close the water for those seconds and open, or when you shave. Commercial for this, a thing like this. But they did also another measurement, which was to learn how to make water of the ocean or Mediterranean, in Israel case, to make it water. So just to make you a little bit to relax people that really worried about draft. Well, the amount of water on Earth is always the same. We are renting the water. It's going up, it's going down. So don't worry too much about it. It's actually when you open water, you waste water. You rent water, you waste electricity. But it's something else because you don't really waste water. You just borrow too much water. But it's not good to do it. I agree. We should not do it too much. But what I think is they should do it just in Israel. You can pretty much cheaper. It's just a matter of just price to pay a little bit, few cents more for the water, and take them from the ocean, and you will have no dependency. And that's what we want: freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. What do you think about prospect of spending your tax dollars on new technology investments, such as desalination? I would like to ask Joe to express his opinion on this.
Pretty much have to do it. It sounds like in 1980-something, I actually looked this up, wondering why don't we have this, and they actually started a desalination plant as the trout started to disappear, so they closed down one of these desalination plants. All of a sudden, we realized there's a problem, now they're opening it back up. I pretty much feel we have to do it because we're taking this water from the ground, we're taking water from everywhere, and we're just dumping it into a lake. So I feel that one thing that's helping is that we're using this gray water to water the lawns of McAfee. So instead of dumping it in this giant lake, it's actually going down back to the ground aquifer. I do feel it's a very worthwhile investment. If it goes to our universities, it's going to bring technology in America, and this is a problem that's happening all over the world, not just America. So the investment into the educational system in order to improve the water technology for desalination is going to pay off in one way or another.
Thank you, Joe. What would be the responsibilities of each of us in such a situation, in a drought like this that has caught the state of California in the past 4 years, and God knows when it will finish? I would like to ask Shuba for your opinion.
All right, so I think it is definitely a serious issue, and as Joe mentioned, it's not just America, it's all over the world. So I think a lot of people have already pointed out few things that we can really do. Closing the tap of the water, making sure in the garden when you have the sprinklers on, they have a set timer on and you're not wasting the water, just running the sprinklers on for a very long time. Again, you basically have to also teach the younger generation, the kids, right, that what is the real importance of water and how they should not really just play around in water and spend this. This is one of the precious elements on Earth, so we should definitely make sure that the importance and the education is there amongst everybody to make sure that it's not wasted. That's all.
Thank you. And last but not least, the drought is not specific to California. We have seen in other states in the past this problem happens also. If you were President of the United States of America, what would you do in your power to promote education, as many of our members mentioned, the Department of Education, and possibly what other measures you would actually take to alleviate this problem, this seemingly national problem? I would like to ask Joe, our guest, for his opinion.
If I were president, that'd be a tough job. But the reason for the drought, I think most experts agree, is climate change. So attacking the symptoms of the problem that is drought is only a temporary measure. One of the things that people point out every time America goes to climate change conferences worldwide is that America enjoys a higher standard of living as one of the largest carbon emitters in the world, but we're doing the least to alleviate the problems with global warming. We're not making changes. So in any situation where there's a shared resource like water, like our climate, like our environment, it's up to everyone to be socially responsible, to not spoil the water for everyone else. So it's a larger question than can be answered with legislation. I don't think legislation is the right solution to the problem. I believe the right solution to the problem is starting a debate and changing the culture around personal responsibility for our society. If we had a tank of water on the roof and it was the only water we had for the summer, there would be no problem with water conservation because we'd all be doing it already. But as people, we don't normally think that way, but that's exactly the situation. So beyond legislating for water usage or climate change, I think we need to educate, and I think we need to all be more aware of our personal social responsibility.
Thank you, Joe. Just to wrap up, I wrote down names of our participants in the table topic today. Sheila talked about the importance of education and how she probably will avoid eating almonds. David agrees with what Governor Brown has mentioned about climate change, apparently. Yaron shared some of his experiences in the state of Israel. Joe also touched upon the importance of investing in new technologies such as water desalination. Shilpa also pointed out the importance of education. And Joe, our dear guest of today, mentioned about necessity of beginning or to start a national debate around this topic of climate change and how the culture could actually make a difference, and also the education, the importance of education, he also pointed out is important to promote this idea. Thank you, everyone. Please also take a moment to vote for the best table topic speaker today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this brings us to the third part of our meeting, evaluations. May I please call upon General Evaluator Pooja Jain to provide evaluations for the meeting.
Thank you, Karishma. I would like to introduce our first evaluator for today, who is evaluating Anjana Machu for Project 8, Leo Hu. Please welcome Leo Hu.
I was listening and waiting for her to say more, but it's ended. Fortunately, I sit next to the timer. Time is, let me review it first, 6 minutes and 41 seconds. So actually it's perfect timing. It's just say we have the time limit. So she had to stop this very interesting topic. I'd like to give evaluation in 2 aspects. One is the overall speech, another is for the project 8, is with the use of visual aid. Excellent topic. It's very interesting. It's a very complicated, hard to understand because we lost it, as you mentioned, when we grow up. But in general, did a good job. So using all HE can provide and also has some pretty nice analogies. So I have heard in the past, like say, empathy is standing in the shoes of others. But, that kind of makes sense, but kind of hard to understand. So she said something like, say, it's seeing with the eyes of others, hearing with the ears of others, and feel is that feel with the eyes and the heart of others. That's perfect. Give us specific things we can do to enhance our empathy. And the second one, when she concludes, she cites a quote, which I listened to know. I heard it before by Angela Mayer. So people will forget what you do to them or what you say to them, but they will never forget how you make them feel. So it's excellent conclusion. So let us realize the importance of empathy. And my personal experience, that's the most important is with your kids. Empathy really is effective with your kids. And the lack of empathy it makes your life very difficult. And the second part I like to evaluate is the use of visual aid. I think very nice, because she used the multiple visual aids, not only one. Like say with the computer-based provided text, they compare with graphic, and let us know which is more effective. And she also provides video and paper-based visual aids. So excellent use of visual aids. Great job.
Thank you, Leo. Great evaluation for the great speech. I would like to call our second evaluator, Tom Barber, for evaluating Ramesh's speech for Project 9. Please welcome Tom Barber.
Ramesh, congratulations. Speech 9, you're almost there, almost to the CC. By now you've realized the first 8 speeches have given you the confidence and the skill needed to give speech 9 persuasive power. Some of the things, you have very good visuals. You had asked me at the beginning to look for, can I speak loud enough? I was sitting in the back and I could hear you very clearly. You've improved greatly. The first couple of speeches I had to lean in. I could hear you very clearly, no problems. You are always well prepared. It's obvious you research your your speeches. You know them very well. You have the great ability with the voice. The inflection could be a little bit better. That would have helped a lot. When you're persuading with power, the idea of this speech is it's not about you, it's about your audience. You're trying to get the audience to believe in what you're saying, to come to your side. I have a stance here. I have something that I want to tell everybody, and I want you to believe that. And so to do so, you would use all of the other 8 things that you've done in the other speeches, which you've done very well. some of the things that you could do that would help is to help emphasize things when you're moving. You're still pacing a bit. I still see you're pacing like this, which does take away a bit from the focus. So a couple of things that, and as you do more, the more speeches, and please keep speaking, we enjoy it. The more you speak, the more comfortable you're going to become. The more comfortable you become, the less you're going to be fidgety, and I'm one of those. I'm a very fidgety person. You'll stop fidgeting. You will learn to talk like you would be talking just to Pooja instead of a crowd of people. And by that I mean you will slow down a little bit. And when you started, great opening, I love it. I'm wondering, what is this? This is a nice song. What does this have to do with the speech? It really got our interest. It brought us in. Once you've done that, you need to have the ability to pause once in a while. And when you talk about how great this person was, that's when you should emphasize this person was a giant. So a little more of that. So a little softer, a little louder. And with the pacing, it would be a lot more persuasive. So you can see when you're talking about persuading, there's a lot to it. And your first speech, Anjana, that really led into the speech, talking about the different things. It's more than just the voice. It's all the different things that the first speeches teach you. Overall, I think you did a great job. I think just continue and think about when you're up, and think about when you're talking with somebody. I always stop at some point and let them think about it. Maybe they want to respond. Even though you don't want the audience to respond, you want to give them a moment to take it in. So you're persuading them, they take that moment, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Then you proceed to the next step. Overall, great, congratulations.
Let's hear from our grammarian, Amrita, who's been listening for good use of the language as well as points of improvement.
So I have only a couple of things to note here. Anjana, just a few things. So you said the talent of able to recognize, the talent of being able to recognize. And I think once time lost, you said, I think it should be once time is lost, then you lose. Ramesh, so there's a couple of things. One is you focus a little bit on tenses. Sometimes you move from past tense to future tense in the same sentence. So just focus on that a bit. You did add some extra words, some who's and for's, which might not be necessary, like the girls who born for or something like that. You should say girls born, you don't have to say who. And if you keep doing hard work, you said if you all keep doing hard work, something like that. So you don't have to add some certain words which might not be necessary. Then there were some missing words like he born in instead of he was born. Then there were prepositions like I'm going to do my handwriting. Instant favorite to him. It's not instant favorite to him. It's instant favorite of him. So misuse of prepositions a bit there. Then that's nothing much. Yaron, sometimes you don't complete the complete sentence. So the sentence structure, you jump from one sentence to another too quickly before you complete the previous one. So you need to take care of that a bit. I don't remember anybody using the word lucid, but if I missed out, thanks.
Let's see what our counter track today for us and and any other learners.
Today I could not find more counts. So Sheila used 2 so's. Karishma 3 R's and Pooja 2 R's. Amrita 1 R 1 so. I think Ashwini 0. And Anjana 1 so. And Ramesh 2 so's 2 but. And Ali 1 R. David 1 R 2 so's. And Yaran 1 R 3 so's 2 buts. And Joe 1 so. And Shilpa, 2 hours. And Jodu, 2 source, 1 but. Leo who, 1 hour, 1 so, 1 but. And last Tom, 2 source, I think 2 times. Okay. That's all.
And it is important to get your message across in the allotted time and for the meeting to run according to schedule. Our timer Ashwini will now report on how we have done on the time.
Our prepared speeches, the speakers were well within time. Anjana was at 6 minutes 41 seconds. Ramesh at 6 minutes 30 seconds. Our evaluator 1, Leo, went a little over time, 3 minutes 18 seconds. And Tom, 3 minutes 21 seconds. Our table topic speakers, Sheila was at 2 minutes 4 seconds. David at 1 minute and 8 seconds. Yaron at 1 minute and 58 seconds. Joe at 1 minute 3 seconds. Shilpa at 51 seconds. And our guest Joe at 1 minute 45 seconds.
Thank you, Ashwini. Now I have a few comments on the meeting as a whole. Meeting started on time, and we had 2 great speeches today from Anjana and Ramesh. Our theme of the day was great. We got to learn about our past. Just going back and thinking about our past feels great. Our table topics master had some great topics today, something very powerful instead of humorous we do for all the time. So, and everyone participated well. The only thing I would say is that we probably increased the time of table topics today, and so we are going on a little late today. But other than that, the meeting was perfectly well in time. That concludes the general evaluation segment for today. And I would like to welcome our Toastmaster.
So overall, it was a great meeting. Since we're almost at 1, it just means that it was overall good meeting. Ali, would you want to give the best speakers award for table topics?
It goes to our guest, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very
much. The last thing I want to say is there is a beautiful saying I came across, and it coincides with the theme. It says, sometimes we look back, but 10 years from now, we think, boy, those were great old days. Well, you know, you are right now living in the good old days. So enjoy the time. Can I please welcome our president?
So we are running really tight on time, and I know there's another group that has this room. I want to say thank you very much. Joe, can you just quickly tell us what you thought of today's meeting, our table topics winner?
This is a great meeting. It's great to hear that I get to meet for the first time, and I'm so happy to be here, and I look forward to actually officially finally joining.
Wonderful. We look forward to having you. And one last mention, if you had a role today, you can actually get credit through this book.